round 5. This is a Manchester Mavericks game again. This is going to be George Jones from our Mavericks A team. George is one of the people who won the last Kote season, and he's up against drsheep. Not sure what team he is. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's first of all have a look at what George is playing. Oh yeah, Berserk Eagles Bafia. Yeah, I'm familiar with this one. Mars, Sanctum, Shadows. There is quite a lot of amber control in that deck. A couple of doorsteps in the Sanctum with the Bodrons as well. Double Mars needs ambers, and then the Shadows. Okay, there's no too much to protect, or indeed even a bait, but there is, Umbras, Yahtzee gangs, and Brend if you can get it to work. So yeah, lots of amber control in George's deck. The opponent, there's the opponent playing Charflare, Cliff, Luddite, Brobnar, Mars, Untamed, Coward's End for a bit of board control. Blood Bonnie is cheap amber if you can get it to work. Oh, Grump Buggy, yeah, Grump Buggy, and then you can start to see the high strength characters, not just in the Brobnar. Looks like there's a Dominator and the Zorg in Mars, which will also trigger the Grump Buggy, and a Grove Keeper, as well as a Tantadin, and there's a Grove Keeper to pump up as well. Some of those Marses are nearly there, and then the Grove Keeper can pump them over. So that's looks like lots of amber control in the Brobnar, and we've got a key abduction in Mars for key cheat, destroy them all. So some board control there as well. Mimicry in the Untamed, that's nice. Nepemp Seed, but there's no key charge. And I'm not personally convinced that the Song of Spring is that good, so double Song of Springs, not great. So let's see whilst I've been talking how the game's gone on. So drsheep went first, played out a Foozle. It's a solid body, nothing special, but it is 5. George went Dominator, Mother Gun, No Drone, archived a card. Didn't use the ability. Then what do you do? Grove Keeper, they're everywhere. To do a bit of damage. Song of Spring again. Nepemp Seed. So that was a pretty good amber turn there from drsheep. Powered up the Foozle. George's response. Shale, Bodron, and then purge the Foozle with Harder They Come. So basically gets us where we are now. So we've got a Dominator on one end with a No Drone in the middle, which is then also protected by Shale the Safeguard, and then a Bodron on the end on George's side. That's it's a lot of creatures, but nothing particularly special there other than the Bodron, I guess. It does mean the Grump Buggy that's been played just now by drsheep. He's working against drsheep because of the Dominator, putting the cost up by 1. Of course, actually, it's interesting, but I haven't only just noticed, but both of them are letting us see their hands, so we can actually see their hands. So that looked like, from drsheep, that was a turn just to get that Brobnar out of their hand. Mimicry alone with the Grove Keeper didn't look like a great Untamed turn. They were deciding there, they paused for a moment there to decide whether they wanted to play the Coward's End. They did. Binned their Grove Keeper, but also took out the 2 Sanctum from George's turn. Yeah, I'd have probably done the same. Otherwise, Bodron's would have come in and started capturing if it was a Sanctum turn. They weren't to know that George had no Sanctum in hand, so instead George went for his Shadow turn and just basically dropped out all those shadows. And so if you look now on the table, there's so much steel. Brend didn't tip Sheep over, we could put him to 5, and of course he's on 7 for a key. So Brent can steal 3 if it gets destroyed. It can also steal 1 when it gets used to fight, and it's got skirmish. So that's a great sort of combo between Little Nif and Bren there. Umbra is going to be stealing 2 whenever it fights, and the Yahtzee at the end is also going to action to steal 1. Of course, because it's an AOA deck without Saurians, or some of the other tricks in Worlds Collide, there's just not that much to stop steel. So Dr. Sheep, what do we do? Dr. Sheep, Pemp seeded the Cow's End, play the Cow's End, put out the Gauntlet. Took the hit by having the 3 stolen, but otherwise they were going to get much more stolen over time. Past turn, refilled their hand up. They've chained themselves quite badly though. To do this, of course, every time you do the Cow's End, that's 3 chains. So George, he's got a handful of Mars after that, but what did he do? He lioned and then grey rided to reap, because there's no. It's interesting how George has done that. George has put the grey rider between the lion and the Fink drone. If he'd have put the lion in between the grey rider and the Fink drone, it would have tipped the Fink drone over to activating Grump Buggy. The only reason I think he's done that is he's going to hope to keep 0 board presence from Dr. Sheep, so that they can effectively get an action out the Fink drone off turn. As it happens, the Fink drone just died to a curiosity. And then mimicry the harder they come, purge the Dominator. Pass back. Sheep's now got a handful of Mars. What's George going to do? George is just going to get 3 amber off his Sanctum. Shadows is unappealing. There's nothing to shoot with the There's Whispers of his own Grey Rider, and the Sting's not great at this point in time. And at this point, I don't think he needs the Mars. The Mars wasn't going to get him 3 amber. You may as well wait till something comes out, Mother Gun it, and then Mars needs amber. Mother Gun and indeed Orb Bombardment if 2 things come out that can take damage. Sheep basically just dropped all his Mars. He used the key abduction for the amber. It wasn't going to happen as a key cheat. So yeah, George got his key. He's Mother Gunned the Dominator for 3. He's then all bombarded, revealing all the other Mars cards, and killed every other creature other than the Dominator. Did he not? What was it? He play each damage any non-Mars creature. Yeah, so Mars never doesn't actually work on the Mars. I was just wondering whether there wasn't one captured, and that's why I keep forgetting it doesn't work if the enemy creatures are Mars. Either way, that's a pretty good turn for George. Got 4 cards out of his hand. He's got an invasion portal down. The Harvester's sitting there doing nothing because the Grey Rider is a neighbour, but at least it's out of the hand. What's Sheep going to do? First Blood did nothing, just got an amber. Sound the Horns, got a Groke. So they've got a Groke, a Bingle Bang Bang, and a Blood Money. They've got Gauntlet and War Chests. So it's trying to think how they're going to get the most value out of this. What do they want to kill? It turns out they want to kill the Grey Rider. Put out the 2 creatures. One of these is going to get gauntleted. I would be very tempted to go Bingle Bangle. Bingle Bangle into the Grey Rider. You lose the Bingle Bangle, but you kill George's board. You get the Blood Money, and then when you War Chest, you'll get another one as well. The alternate will be just to use the Gauntlet on Groke and send the Groke on its own into the Grey Rider. It would only kill the Grey Rider, but it wouldn't kill the Groke, and your Bingle Bangle's there for next turn. Alright, we're just going to get rid of the stun on the Dominator. Okay, not what I would have done, but sets you up for the Mars turn, I suppose. I think the Groke was possibly unappealing because George is only on 2. So what are we going to do? Sanctum, Shield of Justice. So no damage. There's your joyers. No reaping for you. And yeah, we'll just swing in with the bottle of lion in to kill the Dominator. Reap with the Grey Rider to ready it and send it in again. Oh no, the Grey Rider on its own was enough to take out the Dominator. Okay, cool. So, yes, of course, because the +2 from the Lion Bartram. Okay, they're both playing quite speedy. I'm struggling to keep up with what their hands are refilled. So it's refilled. It's got Mars and Sanctum. Sanctum's probably still the best option for George there. He's got 4 on the table to reap with. And very much in terms of, got the board control, so that would put him towards his second key. Looking at Sheep, what Sheep got? It's got a Groke, the Gauntlet, the War Chest, and the Grump Buggy. It's got a Groke in hand. Untamed doesn't look great. All you've got is a Tiger that would kill the Grey Rider, but that's about it. Is Mars a better option? You could Zorg Harvester and Ember Conduction Unit. Did I miss there was a Martian Generosity? There is a Martian Generosity. So there is an MG. So we have got an MG Key Abduction. Yeah. So we are a Jenka deck. I'd missed that. That's got to be frustrating for him, given it's now right at the bottom somewhere. So what we're going to do, we're going to get if it's a Jenka deck, then you probably want to dig for it, get those cards out of hand, pass back. There's your Jenk, there's your Gen. That's interesting. That makes obviously keeping the Grump Buggy down for your opponents. It actually plays into the Jenka strategy, because you don't forge a key on 6. You forge a key on, in this case, what was it, 9 now? No, 6, 4, 6, 7, 8. So you forge on 8. So you get to 7, and then just blow it all for 14 cards. If he's lucky, he might get the key abduction. It's 2/3 of the cards. Anyway, so what did George do? George went Mars, shot the Harvester, played out ticks, damaged the Groke, played out a Zorg, played out another ticks. What was I going to do? Shoot. Oh, you moved the Xanthix Harvester to the end. Yeah, maybe it can reap now. It did indeed reap and stunned itself due to the conduction unit. Put George on 5. Pass back. Well, you've got your Jenka. So you've got your Martian Generosity, shall I say. Is it worth pitching 6 Amber into the bin to draw 14 to see if you'd get the key abduction? Because you've got it so late, you will at least put it, you'll put it out, and it'll be the only thing in your discard, and you'll be close to flipping again. Alternatively, Untamed might be tempting. He did just play 3 creatures, so the life web's turned on, so that would steal 2 off George. Ping for 4, kill something, kill the Grey Rider. Instead, we have gone the Mars. Remove the Zorg, Generosity, and there's the key abduction. So bang, there's a key. Yeah. There we go. So the question is how easy is it going to, how quick is it going to be to get that Jenka back? And is it going to happen before? And why would you play Destroy Them All before the key abduction? The only reason I think you could do that was if you'd wanted to kill one of them George's Martian creatures, but that's not what we've done. We've killed. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, George ends up with his Martian creatures back in his hand, but no mother gun to use them. Sheep gets his first key. 3 amber left. There's no amber generation in the Mars he's got in his hand, but he can at least dump a load of creatures as a threat. Unfortunately, the joys mean the Zookeeper is not going to be turned on. And it's going to be a to get rid of that. You're going to go Brobnar next turn and try and clear the board a bit. So George, what is George going to do? Yeah, I mean, of course, interestingly, when you're up against a Jenka deck, Doorstep Suddenly gets a lot more mileage than you normally get, because you want to keep the cards they draw to a minimum. So, what we're going to see after George, yeah, again, not Shadows. Doesn't look like Shadows is the flavour of the month this turn. George has gone Mars. Get that hand out again. I think the Destroy Them All on George's side. Personally, I would take out that Grump Buggy. It plays too strongly to the Martian Generosity to allow it to live. Even though George has got more strength 5 or higher, I think he's still got to kill it. Yeah, there you go. The Grump Buggy, it's gone, and the Zorg. I possibly myself would have not gone for the Zorg. I'd have maybe gone for the Groke, because I'm happy to leave them the Mars. I know they've just emptied their Mars hand. They haven't drawn any more cards. They're looking to go either Brobnar or Untamed. I'd have killed the Groke. Get it out of the way. I don't think it's a big thing. Oh, and what did we get? We basically we played out the Tixes. Shot a Mind Warper. Shot a Groke. Played a Zambix Harvest, and then they used the Invasion Portal to basically pitch our hand and get the shuffle going. Sheep. Let's have a look. Is there any? What are we going to be getting? Untamed. The Life Web's still turned on because they played 3 creatures. We could glimmer something back. That's tempting. Could we glimmer back the Martian Gen? We could. Or the alternative is we go Brobnar. As previously discussed, we've got a Coward's End, so we can do an absolute board clear at this point. Blood money onto any old thing. Coward's End. Get the Groke, the Bingle Bangers out, and if we sound the horns, just have a look. Have we got anything left? Presumably the Foozle. Oh, no, the Foozle was purged, so we can't get the Foozle. The 2 Grokes, the Bingle Bang Bang. Right, sound the horns would do nothing other than discard our deck for us, which is not a good idea at this point. We're looking to glimmer that Jenka back, or at least glimmer the Generosity back, and then draw into the Cube. Yeah, so discard the sound the horns, play the Groke, play out another Groke, play out a Bingle Bang Bang, get a Reap off the Gauntlet, go to 6. Do we want to go to 7? Probably. There's not seems any reason not to go to 7. Get a key the normal way, and then next turn go for the Glimmer to get the Generosity back, and hopefully draw into a key abduction. Over to you, George. Looks like a Sanctum turn to me. Yeah, doorstep's not great. You wouldn't get the amber off it. You'd stay on 5, but you would take them off key. Play out of Bodron. The alternative is what is it? It's a Shadow's Turn where you Throwing Stars kills the Groke, Relentless Whispers kills the Bingle Bang Bang. So they'd get a key. You'd be on 7. No, it doesn't seem great. Yeah, it looks like George is. Yeah, George has gone for the doorstep. Discarded the Bodron rather than play it. That means the Groke can't be used to take off George's amber. Okay, now here we're going to see the Untamed from Sheep. Glimmer, get back the Generosity. I say with supreme confidence, surely it's a Generosity. There we go. Do you ditch your hand at this point? What's in the discard to Mimicry? Doorstep. That's not great. So I think the Mimicry might be staying. What do? We Song of Springed. Return Glimmer to the deck. Yeah, I think drop the Dust Switch and leave it at that. You're on check for a key. What was it? Or the discarded the Mimicry. Yeah, okay. So what's George done? He's gone for the Shadow Turn finally. There's too much of it in hand to do anything else. Throwing Stars, Relentless Whispers, get out the Yahtzee Gang, get out the Umbra, go. Sheep's going to get his key, and then are we going to see a Generosity at this juncture? I would say no. There's too many cards in the deck. You're not going to get the key abduction back. Need to build up some amber. Brobnar. We've not got enough to take George off key. We're going to lose a Groke into a Yahtzee. It'll live after the Umbra, so it'll lose 1 off George. War Chest will get you an amber. Gauntlet to ready for another amber. Yeah, so you reap with that one, and then you Gauntlet the one that's got 2 damage. Kill the Yahtzee. War Chest, get another 2. 4. There you go, 4 amber. Pass back to George. So yeah, George is now trying, looking at how he's going to get that 3rd key, and is he going to get it before that Generosity gets into the key abduction. Shadows, yeah. Scowly, what is this? Yeah, okay, yeah, there's Scowly. Has he discarded Umbra? Yeah, he's discarded Umbra. So Groke doesn't have a target. Pass back. I think George may have been after a better turn than that if he could. Never mind. Again, his next turn looks like a fairly disappointing Sanctum. So we've gone for the Generosity. We didn't get the key abduct. We did get the Glimmer back though. So because we knew it was in the deck, I suppose, from the Song of Spring. So the Glimmers. So we might see an Untamed turn after this if we haven't got to check, which obviously we're not going to. We're just going to play out a ton of Mars creatures. There we go. Put out all the Mars creatures. Pass back. Kill the Mighty Tiger from Caper. Okay, right, George, how are you going to get out of this? Sanctum, yes. Bodron, Grey Rider, Bodron, fight something that's going to live. You just want to put some down. The only thing that can be Martian that can be Mars needs ambered is the Grok and it's already damaged. What are you going to do with Bodron? Kill the Harvester? Yeah, it's as good as anything. Get a, it's the one that's going to get to amber, so get it off the field. What do we purge? The Dominator. Purge the Dominator with the harder they come. Drew into that's just not a great hand. That really is not a great hand for George. You need some amber fast, and that's not doing it. We have sheep. Yeah, Glimmer. Why not Glimmer? Yeah, Untamed. Glimmer, Nepenthe, They're Everywhere will kill the Grey Rider. Song of Spring, the Glimmer back in. Play out Tented in. Play the Grove Keeper. Somewhere. Yeah, that was a mistake. He's realised it. He should have glimmered before you there, because Glimmer is an alpha. It's an easy mistake to make, trying to remember all these alphas and stuff. Yeah, so you want to Glimmer, you want to put the Generosity back in your hand. Okay, he's going to say he's going to figure out. I mean, he's got Nepenthe Seed, so it's George. I don't think George has got any kind of artifact control other than destroy them all. So, it doesn't particularly matter. He's going to play with Nepenthe Seed. He's going to Omni it next turn. It's not as efficient as the Glimmer route, but it'll still do the job. I think George realises he's on the clock and he needs to get that last free amber from somewhere. It's just a shame he's got no way of killing the Brand immediately. Okay, go on then, George. How are you going to get yourself out of this? Otherwise, you're very, very close to getting a Generosity key abduction from your opponent. Sanctum's useless. Shield Justice is nothing. Mars, not great. Mother Gun, no drone. Mars needs amber. Puts 1 on the Grok. Also, what's your alternative? Go Shadows with a Little Nif and a Brand. That doesn't seem great either. Yeah. No, not great. I think it's just, I'd say as George he's gone Mars. I think he's going to empty his hand. But I think he is looking at, destroy them all would be nice, but he doesn't have it. I mean, archive the Shield of Justice and just ping it to stun the Grok. He stunned the Proliferator. Yeah, okay. That's a better play, because the Proliferator would get back the. Presume it's in there. Yeah, it'd get back the Generosity, and you wouldn't need to use the Nepenthe Seed. Pass. Poor George. He's still looking for that free amber. Reap's Archives. Reap. Clear the stun. Use the Nepenthe Seed. Get back Generosity. That's a dead Caper and a dead. We went for the Mother Gun rather than the Invasion Pool. Okay. We're if we Generosity, we're drawing what? We're drawing 10 cards. That's got to be, you're drawing 10 of 13. You are. You've got to hope at that point, and there you go. There it is, the key abduction. So, bang, game over. Yeah, a bit disappointing there for George. Just couldn't get that third key before the generosity came round again. What do you mean, no? Key abduction. Let's have a look. 9. Why is that not a key? There he is. I was going to say you. There we go. Key abduction. So there we go. That was. That was that. Okay, so that was a loss this time to the Mavericks. I don't know how the rest of the Maverick A teams have been doing. We should, if I catch any more of theirs, I'll try and record them for you. But yeah, there was a Jenka deck. So see you next game.